Haley's campaign got a pretty big boost today. The influential conservative group Americans for Prosperity, which is backed by the major Republican donor Charles Koch, endorsed her. It comes as she continues to see some momentum building for her campaign, although, keep in mind here, she still remains about 30 percentage points behind the former president, Donald Trump, according to most polls. Now, after her debate performances, she's drawing pretty big crowds at events, including this one that you just saw right there in her home state of South Carolina last night, where she took this shot at former President Trump.
But the truth is, rightly or wrongly, chaos follows him. You know I'm right. Chaos follows him.
All right. So, Ashley,
Yes.
You are a supporter of Nikki Haley. We've talked about this on the show. You're loosely involved with the campaign, right? Just to throw that out there. How important is this, and what are they saying in her world, in her orbit?
I think people are very excited. I mean, obviously, this has been something that's been worked on for a long time. I think what's more important than the money, which is what a lot of the headlines are saying right now, is the infrastructure that goes along with this endorsement. The Americans for Prosperity, which is the Koch brothers organization that they started, was it 2000 they started it? It comes with millions of people that will help with door knocking, with...
The databases are huge.
Huge. And the grassroots effort infrastructure that she did not have up until today,
right,
she now has. And so that is more important to me than any amount of money that they will give or the group will give.
What is this worth? Is this worth like percentage points in polls eventually down the line? Like...
I mean, I would think that it's more of just, again, grassroots and getting people out. I don't know what the percentage points are, but I want to say one thing because I think this is very important, and that was very articulate what I just said.
Fantastic.
I think that, so all these percentage points of hit her down to Trump, as soon as these other people start getting out, which most people think will be after New Hampshire, especially if she wins #2 in Iowa and she wins big in New Hampshire for #2.
Hypotheticals, but go on.
Hypotheticals. Then all of those people that get out that they're pulling as well, whether it's DeSantis voters that aren't Trump voters, most of those people that aren't will come to the never Trump candidate.
But that hasn't happened.
Trump.
That hasn't happened yet. A lot of the Tim Scott people have now gone to Trump people, including folks in South Carolina. But I think you're right.
How do you have that to back that up?
The stuff you read from the local papers in South Carolina.
Tim Scott didn't endorse her.
Tim Scott supported DeSantis, I think, didn't he?
No.
I think.
Well,
anyway, but
Nikki Haley is the only Republican that I am dreading.
As a
she
Democrat.
would destroy us right now. As
Us
they
being
stand.
President Biden.
Biden.
Everybody would destroy Biden right now.
Biden. No. I do not believe Trump will destroy Biden because nothing unifies the Democratic Party more than Trump. Nikki Haley's not crazy. Yeah. She seems normal. Yeah. She is normal. I've met her. She's lovely. And I think that it's the candidate they need. But I do not believe they will go with her for a variety of reasons.
So I just want to show, just to jump off that, early state polling standings. Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Trump, Haley. Let's show the numbers up on the screen. I don't have to read them. But there you go. Just call it 30 points.
Okay,
Keep
but
going.
can you look and see what DeSantis' number is in Iowa?
I don't think that's head-to-head polling. I think you're right, Ashley.
So if DeSantis is polling at 15%, so then she goes up to 30%.
Yeah, but that's practical calculation on your part, but that's not necessarily dispositive of what's going to happen. She still has 30 points or more to make up. Koch, work organization.
But Scott, here's what she got.
Here's what she got.
And Ashley's absolutely right about infrastructure and money, and that is huge. It really is. The databases these folks have is dramatic. Momentum.
So if you get that,
momentum is what this is really about.
You get that, and you're going to close that gap because you got momentum in an organization.
That's my next question, is that I think this allows her to consolidate the anti-Trump vote. Okay, the question is that a 35% number or a 50% number? How do you appeal to the Charles Kochs of the world and the Mitt Romneys and the George Bushes? Keep in mind, one of her big fundraisers in New York was somebody who didn't even support Donald Trump either time. How do you consolidate that vote and also peel off MAGA voters from Donald Trump? If you do that, you can win, but I haven't seen that.
That's an impossible.
I'll tell you what, that chaos argument's a good argument.
You think so?
Yeah, I think the best thing about Joe Biden is he's boring. Right? I think the chaos argument, the American people cannot stand 4 more years of this waking up in the middle of the night saying, what did the president do? Right? It just, I don't want it. And I love it. That's what we do, right? But the American people do not want chaos for 4 more years. They want normal. They want to get up, have their coffee, read their paper, and not worry about the world ending. And that's what Donald Trump brings every second of his presidency. The American people are going to remember that. And she's talking about it. She should talk about it every second, because that's a winning argument, even with Republicans.
Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.